everyone, welcome to Krista's Curated Life. I am Krista and I'm a part-time reseller on websites like Poshmark and eBay. Today is a What's Sold video. It is a Monday. Happy Monday. I hope that this is a blessing to your Monday because sometimes Mondays can be really irritating to get through. Today we're going to be going through July sales from July 13th through the 19th. I had a total revenue of $711.03, a profit of $473.86, with an average sold price of $29.63. Got that ASP up, really exciting, and I sold 24 items. A very quick shout out to Prime Lister and their Poshmark automation tool because it carried my sales this week. I had a total of 12 Poshmark sales, which was really, really great. I had so much traction in my store. They have the cloud-based listing tool. And if you guys are interested in checking that out, I have a link for it in my description. They've seriously been such a game changer in my business. And I couldn't imagine a time when Poshmark was the leader of my store because it was eBay for a very long time. We have 7 eBay sales, 3 Depop sales, which is exciting, and 2 Mercari sales. I am going to quickly go through how I run sales on Poshmark. I didn't run one this week, but I wanted to quickly include it because a few people had asked about it, and it has helped me move out other Poshmark things. To start, I simply turn off the automatic offer to likers on Prime Lister, and it's easy as that. And then I'll show you guys how to do the sale in app. So I start by going onto the Poshmark app and I'll scroll down to My Shoppers, click on that, and then hit Add Likes to Bundle. And then I'll go ahead and scroll down as far back as I want to. I'll normally run this sale about once a month. And so then here I am about a month in and I get down and then I just hit Add Likes to Bundle. When it's done adding the likes to the bundle, this box will pop up and then I just hit leave comment. I have a message saved in my draft, so I'll just go over to my notes app, hit copy and paste, and carry this on over to Poshmark. You just hit add and then it'll leave a comment on every single bundle. I like to start this off in the morning so people have all day for me to get the notification that they said interested. So going into my app, I'll open what they commented on it, and then I will go ahead and lower the price down to whatever percentage I offered off at that time. I always have a 20% offer to Lakers, and so I like to increase the percentage, and then they're getting the shipping discount on it too because it's closet clear out. And then once I go ahead and lower the price, I'll let them know that I lowered the price and to look out for a notification from Poshmark. I do have to say that about 80% of the time people do end up accepting it, and so I'll just switch anything back that doesn't sell. One quick note, I just want to make sure that we are not spamming people with this method. I try to do it every month to every 3 months. I do delist and relist, so hopefully people aren't getting this message more than once, but it does happen. The whole point of this is to make some sales and to make a Posher happy. Keep that in mind. All right, y'all, are we ready for the What's Sold? So we are starting off with this Amaze You, I don't know how to pronounce it, 100% linen midi dress. This was a size 2XL, which really helped. I feel like this is an Amazon brand or something, but I'm not entirely sure. They sold on eBay for $31.19. That does include shipping. Everything I say with eBay will have shipping included in it. I ended up taking home $15.29, and I had this one listed for like 2 months. I believe I had turned on offers for this one just because we are at the end of July now. Sad. Well, this is mid-July, but I am moving out summer inventory, so you'll kind of see that as a theme. I have some sweater sales, which is crazy. Actually, I don't know if you'll see it in this one, but I have some this week. Next, this is a Free People women's tank top. I also have distressed brown tie-dye knotted. I did have this one for a while. I listed this at the end of November of last year. However, it was so lightweight, I got it at the bins.
It sold on eBay for $20.96 and I ended up taking home $11.74. This is just a bread and butter. I'm okay with taking a little bit less. If Free People items don't sell after a year, I normally take them to turnstile to consign. So bread and butter. Next, more bread and butter. We have a Victoria's Secret high neck mesh lace bralette. This was a size medium, which I think is why it took a while to sell. I have this one listed the middle of March, so it did take a few months. It sold on eBay with shipping for $17.31, and I took home $6.59. Oh, the sun came out. Look at that lighting. Okay, sorry to be dramatic. That's just who I am as a person. Next, we have this Victoria's Secret t-shirt lightly lined wireless bra. This sold on eBay for $19.64. After fees and cost of goods, I took home $9.83. I do want to make about $10 off bras, close enough. But this one sold after being listed for 12 days, so I'm pleased. Up next, these are Lululemon The Short. They're a size men's small. They do have a really long inseam. However, this style is one of the styles that still has a really good sell-through rate. So this sold on eBay for $31.14. I ended up taking home $18.36. I do have to say I listed this one at the beginning of April, so it did take a few months to sell. However, I priced it on the higher end of comps, like middle higher. So I could have processed it out sooner, but I knew I could get the extra dollars out of this one. I do have to say, that's the one thing I'm learning now is like, where can I push $1? And other areas I'm like, I'm still learning. I just priced it lower so it would move. So that's just been a little bit of my style. Next, we have these soft surroundings ultimate denim boot cut pull-on jeans. These had a few things going for them. Their boot cut, which is trendy right now. When did I list this? I listed this mid-May. To anything that's boot cut, I started adding like Western, cowgirl. So it was boot cut. These were pull-on. And they were also in like new condition. I have a really hard time selling anything soft surroundings, and I can't even tell you that these had a good sell-through rate, but they were in such good condition that I was like, I have a hunch, the famous hunch. These sold for $32.47 on eBay, and I took home $18.07, and they sold after about 2 months. So not a bad sale at all. Next, we have an LaFleur cardigan. I had never seen anything like this. And I don't know if you guys know, mention it in the comments about LaFleur sometimes has like this slinky knit. And I don't know if it has a name to it. But this is like that knit. I'd never seen anything like this. Is on the top of a bin. It sold on eBay for $42.82. I had opened up offers on this one and ended up making $24.29. I did have this one listed for like since the middle of April. So whatever the math is on that. But anyway, LaFleur typically has a really bad sell-through rate, and I'd say it's about 50-50 with me deciding to sell it or take it to turnstile. I think I had this originally listed for like $68, and since I'd had it for over 3 months, I was like, I'm open to offers, let's get things moving. Next, we have Lululemon Soft Stream high-rise pants. What's really interesting about these, so this was a Poshmark sale. It sold for $30. I took home $22. What's really interesting is that, these sold after a month and a half. These are a newer style from Lululemon. They actually had the squared dot to them. Or no, not the square dot. They actually had the like size tag in it and the new tag. So that's how I knew it was a newer style. Sorry, we do not have the air on and it's like 80 degrees in the house. So my apologies if you start seeing sweat for Monday. I gotta turn on the AC. But anyway, these pants, I don't even know how to describe it. It was like some of the thread was coming looser. It was becoming thinner just from wear. So this person did not have these very long, but they were like threadbare along the waistline. I noted all of the wear on it, and the fact that they still sold for $30 is frankly amazing. So really happy with that sale. I'd say keep an eye out for anything that has like a new square tag. It's different than the rip tag. They now have a tag that kind of stays in it. So that denotes a newer piece. And if the size dot isn't a dot, it's a square, that means it's a newer piece too. Next, we have a pair of Tiva Terra hiking sandals. These were a size women's 11. I also had water shoe, neutral tan, supportive. These were from my mama. They sold on Poshmark for $25, so I didn't have any money into them. I ended up taking home $20. And these sold like 3 weeks after I listed them. So keep an eye out for Tivas. I wouldn't really pay up for them, but anything like outdoorsy definitely always really sells well in the summer. Next, we do have a sweater. It is a sweater vest. This is a Talbot sweater vest. It's cable knit. I also have olive green, half zip. This was a 3X petite, which Talbot's is the only company that I've seen that has plus sizes in petites. I bet you like Christopher and Banks does. But anyway, so that's something to keep an eye out for because I've noticed there isn't even necessarily a filter for that on reselling apps. And so I'm wondering how much of like an underserved, population that is. But this was also new with tags. I did receive a few lowball offers on this one. But I received an offer of $29, which is crazy because I never expect that much from a Talbot's piece. I took home $21.20 and it sold after one day. Incredible. Up next, down to a bad sale. This is a straight down short sleeve men's shirt. Straight down is a golf brand. It's an expensive golf brand and their sell-through rate is really bad. I really only pick it up if it's new with tags, and I probably should have taken this to turnstile. However, I thrifted it at the end of October. And so I'm sure that's why I didn't take it. Someone offered me $10 and I was like, well, no one's been interested. I think it had like one like when I tell you I've had no interest on this shirt, I just couldn't stand to see it go to a landfill. And I was like, let me experiment. Experiment did not work. I made $5.05, which still a profit. But if you see straight down, be really picky. I did sell that skirt the other day, but skirts are really trendy. If this had been in like silk, I want to say there was nothing exciting about this fabric, but it was new. It's a nice shirt. Just no one wants to pay for it, which kind of makes or breaks a business, but whatever. I'm sorry, I'm feeling very sassy today, apparently. Next, Bolo Bra brand. This is a Walk-Hole Classic Reinvention underwire bra in a size 34 triple D. It is a tan color. This sold for $14 on Poshmark. I must have taken an offer because that's actually pretty low for Walk-Hole. Let's see. And I only had this one listed for 4 days. Interesting choice, Krista. Interesting choice. So I made $9.05, which does almost meet the $10 goal, but sorry, that's a letdown. Those normally do sell for more. Next, this was a J. Jill Dream. This is a Pure Jill 100% linen top. I have top, shirt, gauze, airy weave. The weave on this is a leg and look dream. It was so gauzy. It was so light. I can see someone wearing this on vacation, on the coast. It was so nice. And it was an extra large. So this one had some wear on the collar, like some staining to it. And I was like, this piece is just so beautiful. I have to see if I can get this out. And it was so light. And so I did an OxiClean soak and the stains came right out. So I sold this for $27 on Poshmark. I took home $19.60 and this sold after 16 days. Holla. Next, we have an Athleta Daybreak dress. This is a black mini sleeveless dress. It is a size medium, so a smaller size in Athleta, but I do find that medium and larges sell really well in Athleta. I had this one listed for like 3 weeks and it sold for $33. So keep an eye out for this one. I feel like there's so few Athleta sales that sell this well. $33. I took home $26. And this was so lightweight. I got it at the bins. Happy camper. Next, we have a Nick and Norrell flannel pajama set. This is how to make sew a sock monkey. It was like the title of it. It was a size small. This one actually did have a decent amount of wash wear on it. But this sold on Mercari for $24. I ended up taking home $16.78. I did have this one listed in the middle of May. Pajamas typically sell for me in the fall and winter time. So to sell a set of flannel pajamas in the middle of July, great. It means some people have their AC on in their home at night, unlike me, and I can literally feel the sweat dripping right now. I'm roasting. Next, we have, get ready. We have a favorite daughter, the City Blazer knit cuff. This sold on Poshmark for $115. I took home $90. This one was listed for 2 days. Count them, 1, 2. I actually did, unfortunately, I did receive a message on Poshmark and this girl was like, hey, this shipped so fast. Like, thank you. This doesn't fit. Like, can I return it? And I messaged her. I was like, Poshmark doesn't actually take returns, but this sold so fast for me. So you can just hit the reposh button and hopefully you'll be able to get rid of it right away. Honestly, she can probably make her money back. She could probably get about $10 more than I got for it. So I'm hoping she does give me a rating, but it is a bummer that it didn't fit her. It's a super cute jacket and I got it at the bins. $90. If only you could make those sales every day. Are you tired of Kendra Scott yet? This is the Kendra Scott Ava framed pendant necklace. This is a blue glass. It sold for $25 on Poshmark. I had $9 into it, so I took home $11. I'm gonna be sad when they're gone. Will I find more? I don't know. Up next, we have a Skims women's joggers. These are a size extra large. I also have closet staple, lounge, 100% cotton. I also put goth, maybe a good keyword. Did have pockets. It sold on Poshmark for $25. I did list this one in the middle of May. So it took, It took 2 months. I took home $18. So that was a good one too. Next, an absolute Y2K dream. I think this is one of the coolest Y2K pieces I found. This is a Y2K vanity beaded tube top. It had like the drop waist with the tassel, the beading, the tube top, and it's from Vanity. Okay, so I came home and I told my roommate's 2 or 3 years younger than me. I'm 29. I turned 30 in like 2 weeks, whatever. A week after this comes out. But anyway, I was like, oh my gosh, and can you believe that it came from Vanity? And she was like, what's Vanity? And I was like, what's Vanity? It's like cheap trash clothing that was like super trendy, which reminds me that Forever 21 went bankrupt, which is sad. But I mean, I was like, it was a generational staple, okay? And so the fact I sold this for $23 on Depop, which is probably what it was in the store 20 years ago. So I took home $17.75. I probably could have gotten more for this, and I knew it must have been on the trending pages on Depop. It sold after 9 days because I got a bunch of lowball offers, and that's how you know it's good. Next on Poshmark, this is an Ibex gray dyad merino wool blend cowl neck sweater. Ibex is a Bolo brand in outdoor wear. I didn't have outdoor in this. I think I ran out of characters, but what's really interesting about this sweater is that it was actually reversible. And so some of that took up some of the characters. But anyway, this sold on Poshmark for, thank you Prime Lister, offer to likers for $42. I took home $31.60. I had this one listed for a month and a half. We're winding down, we got 3 left. This is a Taylor Swift hoodie. This is a Meet Me at Midnight. It's from the Midnights tour. This is my first time ever finding Taylor Swift merch. This sold on Mercari for $32. I took home $25.98. If you see anything Taylor Swift branded, look it up. If you see like modern tour merch, look it up. I actually have a Noah Khan piece that's waiting to be photographed right now. But anyway, I had this one listed for like 10 days. Up next, we have a Hammermaid's men's button-up shirt. This was like a little bit of an experiment. I want to say it had like a 30% sell-through rate on eBay. I had it listed for like 24. Honestly, this woman and I went so back and forth on this piece. I ended up selling on Poshmark for $16. I made $10.80. And it sold after 13 days, 12 days. Math is hard. So I guess pick up Hammermade. These are really expensive shirts, like over $100. Next, this is a Free People Back on Top shirt. I have a ton of these in a bunch of different colors, but this is a size large. I also have blouse, puff sleeve, smocked, boho. It sold on Depop for $25.50. And I took home $16.87. I did have $5 into this one, so a little bit more money. And I have had this listed since the end of April. I have a bunch of these shirts. I bought like a lot of them. And this was the first to sell. Maybe the second. So we're not off to a great start, but oh well. But anyways, thank you guys for hanging in there with me today. I really appreciate it. If you like reseller content, please leave a like and subscribe. I do What Sold videos every Monday, and then every other Thursday I release some extra kind of fun content. But I'll see y'all next time. Bye.